We've got more to share with you this evening from a health risk assessment report of the Pinders Point, Lewis Yard, and its surrounding areas of Grand Bahama. That report was tabled in the House of Assembly yesterday by the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville. For years, residents in the surrounding communities were plagued with emissions from the industrial area. Tonight, our Janaea Noel Ferguson takes a closer look at that report and what the Minister for Grand Bahama hopes to achieve in the short and long term.
An independent study on the Pinders Point, Lewis Yard, Hunters, and Hawksbill communities in Grand Bahama conducted by the Pan American Health Organization and the World Health Organization provides a comprehensive overview of the health conditions of the estimated 3,000 persons who reside near the Freeport Industrial Park. Residents there have for years questioned whether they were at risk for the very types of cancer and respiratory illnesses. Now, data from the neighboring Hawksbill Clinic and Rand Memorial Hospital were used, and over the 25-year period, 103 cases of cancer were recorded, 278 cases of reproductive disorders, 234 of respiratory disorders, and 14 cases of birth defects. 99 cases of respiratory disorders, 105 cases of sore throat, 12 cases of eye irritation, 8 cases of headaches, and 26 recorded cases of unexplained vomiting were also recorded. Now, as it relates to cancer, of the 1,222 cases in Grand Bahama, 103 of them were residents living in one of the communities under the study. Breast cancer and prostate cancer were most common. The report noted that when compared to the entire population on Grand Bahama, the distribution of cancer cases in those areas, however, are not higher than any other area on the island. Now, the Minister of Grand Bahama, Dr. Michael Darville, noted that while this study is significant, government is also moving to monitor the emissions in the industrial zone.
Environmental health risk assessments, it clearly indicated no current exposure capability in the area. We have decided to put in place a monitoring system, which is called the ENOS monitoring system, that would assess spills, would assess the quality of air, and we intend to mount them on utility poles in the perimeter of the industrial sector that will be monitored by an independent arm from the Department of Environmental Health, representatives from my ministry, and representatives from the Grand Bahama Port Authority.
Now, the report also noted that exposure to chemicals produced by the different industrial plants was possible and very likely in the air, but was diluted by ongoing operations. And based on a 25-year period, there was a downward trend in hospital visits. The Grand Bahama minister noted that while there may not be a prevalent health concern there is a safety concern for residents who may now have to relocate.
At the area, you will see that a lot of these residents are in close proximity. And there's a strong possibility in the safety assessment, we may find out that some of these residents need to move because in the event of a natural disaster, it could be potential risk to them.
A number of recommendations were also made in the report that the minister said stakeholders will work together to achieve. Janaea Noel Ferguson, ZNS Network News.